Welcome to the Daily Plunge. We are in the book of Numbers, chapter 13, starting at verse 31, going through chapter 14, verse 25. Now, the 12 spies that went out into the promised land, into Canaan, came back and they said what an incredible place it was. It was truly a land flowing with milk and honey, but we felt a little nervous. There were some big people there, some big giants there. These are wicked people, and there's fortified cities. And Caleb and Joshua say, let's go. God is with us. We can do this. But the other 10 spread, it says, a bad report. And you think about it in the life of the church. Do we spread a bad report where we look at what we can do, and that fear of what we're not able to do overcomes what God can do? We can't do it. They're stronger than us, they say. The land, even though it's milk with milk and honey, it devours those living there. Which one is it? Is it a good land, or is it a place that eats you up? And so it's contradictory. And then it says, again, all the people there are giants. And when we look at them, we just feel like grasshoppers. And they look at us the same way. And I want you to think about how often in this world where God is calling us to go into a place of ministry, do we feel like we're just puny and that we couldn't imagine that we could open up a new door for ministry because we feel small and the problems seem so big. In verse 1 of chapter 14, it says, all the people raised their voices, but not in praise, but in grumbling. They wailed and wept. And how often are we crying about how things aren't the way they used to be, and we can't imagine moving forward? It's exactly what happens here. And they grumble against Moses and Aaron, and by extension, because they're the leaders trying to lead them into God's future, they're grumbling against God. Why does God, they say, why does God want to slay us with the sword? God is not trying to slay them with the sword. He's trying to lead them in the promised land. They said, if only we had died in Egypt, which is funny because they're accusing God of wanting to kill them, but now they're saying, let's go back to Egypt and die. And he says, our wife and our children will be taken as slaves. We should go back to Egypt. What was in Egypt? You all were slaves in Egypt. Your children and your wives had no future there either. And so it's just nonsense that's coming out of their mouths. And I want you to think about how much in our world we get so caught up with the untruth of this world, the lies of this world, that we'd rather have the slavery of this world than the freedom of faith. Now, they say, let's pick a leader from one of those 12, one of those slave-minded people. And because we can't deal with freedom. And Moses and Aaron and Caleb and Joseph say, if the Lord is pleased with us, if he will lead us, if the Lord knows we trust him, he'll lead us. And he will give us this land. Do not rebel against the Lord. Do not fear that more than you fear God. You should fear God more and trust him more. But they stopped talking with them. And, as it says in verse 10, they treated him with contempt. And the Lord says, I'm just going to start over. These people don't want freedom. I'll find a people who do. And Moses prays for them. And we'll come to that next. Well, thanks, friends. Have a blessed day.